Hello and very warm welcome everyone. It's Marta. Welcome back, my friends. I just had my first coming back live classes last night, and I still got all these bits on my desk. I actually came in today morning to clean up, but then I just quickly realized, and this is my kind of a new resolution, I am dealing with the papers now rather than putting them away to my scrap drawer. My scrap drawer is already overfilled, and if I will stack these papers aside, they'll be waiting weeks, if not months, until next time I'm gonna, use them up. So my new rule is to use them up straight away. Yesterday, and this is for those of you, my friends, who may miss my last live class, this is what we were creating. A lovely envelope, there's a space you can add your gift card, and then we've got this beautiful pop-out card. There's a little Velcro piece, so the card will fold nicely and stand on its own. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and this is the leftover pieces I have. I was printing my own digital design, the link which you'll find down below in the description area, and that was the freebie gift to all my friends who joined my live classes. And just to generally say thank you, there's so many new friends here joining my channel. I'm super thankful to every single one of you, and as I can, I'm trying to give you here and there a little freebie just to say how much I'm thankful and appreciating you. Now I'm creating my first card base, and then I was sharing with you, this is the same cardstock, like kind of like a coated cardstock, which I was using on this video with ironing embossing technique. Let me know in the comment if you've seen that video, if you have experiment with that technique. That was super fun. I know many friends watch it because this video is kind of like a little viral on my channel just now. So thank you so much everyone who've been watching it and who've been sharing it. That's a huge support for me. Now I've decided to make a card using those triangles which were leftovers from the pieces from the card I was making last night. And here you can see I've got a quick clock, this like a timer measuring. I'm just setting it up for 1 hour. I don't want to spend too much time. I was hoping I'm just gonna use up all these pieces within this hour. I still have got a little bit left, so maybe there'll be like continuation, or maybe I'll create a couple more reels with these papers because I really like them. And I must tell you that all the ideas I'm using in today's video, this is just a quick cards. This is the kind of like 5 minutes make, things like that. Maybe not 5 minutes, but around like 10 minutes each. I was crafting for 1 hour, and I made 6 cards in total. You'll see them here. I hope you're gonna enjoy those ideas, and this is not necessarily has to be the Christmas card. You can use different dependingly on the papers you're gonna be using. This is gonna be a great for any occasion. You just need to switch the pattern paper to something else, and you've got the quick card ever. Just a nice sentiment, and maybe they'll be handy and you can keep it on the side. Or for the Christmas creation, there's usually, even though we start making Christmas cards early, there's usually a little bit rush towards the end before the Christmas, because there's either someone we forget or we realize we need a couple more cards. So that'll be a good reference video. You can just keep it for later. I will have the whole playlist with the Christmas card for this year and from the previous year, so you can have a look as well. If you like to see more ideas with the Christmas creation, you can go there and watch them on playlist. So here I've back those pieces, because this paper, actually you can see here, this was cut from the copy paper, like this was printed on a copy paper, I'm sorry, and it was quite thin, and I wanted to have a little bit more frame around it, so I use the watercolor paper. That way I have this beautiful matte and layers, and I'm just once I put these two together, I am just arranging them on a card. And this is the regular A4 size card score in half, so that's A5 size card base. But now once I set all my triangles. I'm just slightly trimming it. And this piece I'm gonna actually use on my next card, so nothing gets to the waste today. We are very kind of like a frugal crafting. I like to use up my pieces. I don't like to throw things away. So whenever I can, I'm always kind of saving every single bit, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna use it up. But for many times I was just putting my scrap pieces into the drawers. So that's why this is my new rule. And I must tell you, my friends, this is very efficient because you already have all those papers out, you already have those bits, so why not use them up rather than putting them away? And even if you create 1 or 2 simple cards, it doesn't have to be like 1 hour crafting session, it could be like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. Just try to arrange whatever leftovers you have and create a simple card. That way you will end up having a lot more cards, especially that kind of like emergency box you can feed up with this simple cards, that whenever any of your family member will come in or someone else, you can have something for them. Now, I've just plugged in my hot gun, like a hot glue gun. So I just put all that bits aside with this card, and in the meantime, I don't want to waste time. So I'm just gonna be working on a card number 2. I'm having the leftover pieces from the watercolor paper, which was if I remember, that was like less than 7 inches, like 6 3/4 by 8 1/4. So I just score it in half and I'm creating the card base. It's not about the size here, it's just about using up whatever I have really. So I wasn't really paying too much attention to the size of this card base. I've trimmed a piece of the cardstock, of the design paper to the size which I'm needing, and then because it was a little bit shorter, I am trimming the card. And these 2 pieces, this is the one I'm gonna be using. When I said nothing goes to the waste, I'm actually thinking of those 2 bits which I cut in half, and I'm having those like a kind of a 2 strips to put across my card. And this is going to be something to enhance the design. It's very simple pattern, so there's not much dimension here. I'm gonna be adhering it flat. However, and this is the technique I really like to do, is whenever I'm sticking the papers flat, I like to create that kind of a stitching line using this leather piercing tool. So whenever you do that, make sure you just add your glue not up till the edges, so you will allow those edges slightly to rise, and that way we've got this dimensional effect, yet the paper is really flat. And this is a great idea for those of you who are creating cards for postage, because that way we've got the dimension but the card is staying relatively flat. Another thing which I wanted to give you a little tip is that if you're creating the cards for a postage and you are worried about the weight of the card, the one way you can kind of reduce the weight of your creation is to use the lighter paper. Here, this paper pieces I'm working on, this is actually the copy paper. It's slightly thicker copy paper. It's not the 80 GSM, but I think it's like 110 GSM. So that's fairly thin paper, like here in UK, in Europe. This is what I'm saying, because I know that in United States, my friends, quite often they mention like 110 paper, but I think it's a slightly different thickness than ours. So just to give you a little bit word of explanation, our thick paper for card bases is usually 250 GSM, 300 GSM. So 110, it's fairly thin. It's like next one, it's kind of like a copy paper but premium one. And this is what I'm using to print the papers. That way the cards are way lighter than if they would be like on a, stiffer cardstock, like more heavier one. And now, since my glue gun is working, I can go back to the previous card and then just adhere that little composition here. So I'm just adding the sentiment. I did a little mistake because I put it too much towards the one side, so I just gently rip it off, and then I'm just replacing it in a different area, slightly different area, so it will be just looking nicer. And as I'm saying, all these cards were super quick, very easy, flat. They'll go nicely to envelopes, and that's all you really need. Just a little bit of the design paper, a couple extra elements to dress them up, and you're good to go. Now let's move on to card number 3. And again, I had the same piece of the card base that was like less than 7 inches. It was A4 size card, but I chopped a little bit up front because I need it. So that's why I have those odd sizes, and I've decided to place this light color paper on top of it, but I wanted to have this nice kind of a very thick border all around. I think this is something elegant in this design. Let me know if you agree. But whenever I have this very clean and simple card to make, I kind of enjoy having it with this chunky border. I think it's just adding a little extra elegance. Now, my friends, I'm gonna use the Merry Christmas sentiment, and this is another tip I want to share with you, especially with the fellow crafters who are just starting. If you've got your mat to put underneath your front layers like I have here, make sure you actually use them up before you adhere it. Like here, I cut the sentiment. There's no point for wasting additional paper if you could cut something underneath. It's not gonna be visible. No one will see that there is piece matching. The piece is missing underneath, but you have extra sentiment, or maybe like a leaf or something, or just simply take a smaller die if you have them and just cut it out. Don't waste that paper to be underneath another layer, because there's no point for creating that wastage. And especially any fancy cardstock like mirror, gold, silver, pearl papers, they are pricey. So make sure you actually have a good use. You cut something underneath the front panel layer, because that way, look up here, I have ready sentiment, which I didn't have to wait extra paper. I'm actually gonna go a little bit farther with this sentiment because I cut 2 another layers, but with this card, very simple, there's not much going on. I've decided to create a little bit more dimensional sentiment because I think it's looking way better. If you want your card appear a little bit more luxurious, this is something what you can do. Cut your sentiment 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times. Have a experiment, and you will see instantly that your sentiments, they kind of look like the chipboard elements. They are becoming way more like luxurious. They just look better than the simple one, like one layer. So here I'm adding a little drops of the hot glue, and then I'm adhering it. And oh wow, this card is so simple, but I really love it. I must tell you, my friends, I actually enjoy them all. I think this is the design, I don't know. I'm not sure how it's gonna sound, but I really like it. I know it's my own design, and I maybe should not be praising myself, but I'm super happy how this design turned out, and all these elements. I just love it. The color combination, the blue, red, a teeny tiny bit of the greenery is just something I really like. And it's very Christmassy, and even though it's kind of a busy pattern like this one, I was usually avoiding the busy patterns, but I'm recently starting to fall in love back with them, so maybe you're gonna see more of those designs on my site. So have a look. I'm gonna have a new live classes in 2 weeks. Next week, actually, I'm planning to put like a live video, so maybe we could like do like a video premiere and chit chat, because I won't be able to run the classes. However, Sunday 9 o'clock in Poland, it's 8 o'clock in the UK, and around 3 p.m. in the United States. This is gonna be my time where I'll be sharing my either live videos or live classes. So just to let you everyone know that if you would like to join me for chit chat, this is the time we can meet up on the Sunday night, evening or afternoon, dependingly where you living, where you're staying. And all of those videos, they will be saved up, so don't worry if you're living in different area and you won't be able to participate while the video or classes is live, then you can always catch up and watch later. Here I've decided to do a little comparison. I had the idea in head and I couldn't decide if I want my reindeer to be on directly on the paper, or I want to put like a white layer, like a little white mat underneath it. So for that I've decided to create 2 cards. And this is my another tip. It's gonna be like a tips video today, but this is what we sometimes need. Like, you know, it's good to share your ideas, your observation, because I could lead you to something, and then quite often, my friends, you've been very helpful as well. You've been given your tips in the comments area, so I love to read them. I love to, you know, check up, because this is why we're here. We are creating crafting community to inspire one another, to, you know, learn something. And I'm also super thankful every single time you are sharing your tips, your ideas. This is a huge support for me as well. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep it on the plain design or have this white mat. So I've decided to make them both version, and this is what I was trying to say before I change the topic slightly. If you have this trouble, you cannot decide what to do, this and that, rather than wasting the time and trying to figure out the composition, oh, I want this way or that way, and you just go back and forth with your thoughts, make those 2 cards. It's not gonna be taking any much more time of you, because you are using exactly the same supplies. But that way, if you create them both and you will be looking at them side by side, then you will have the comparison in real time, and you'll be seeing like, okay, I like this version, and maybe I'll keep that for a next time, next idea, like next card comment. But that way you can quickly make your own observation, plus you end up with additional card you can use up for later on or for another occasion. So it's a win-win situation. And I know what I'm saying, because for many times, like especially at the beginning when I was like beginner crafter, I was always struggling with decision making. I was spending hours, if not days sometimes. I could not finish project because I was like worried, like, oh, I should use this or that, maybe like a green paper or darker green paper. It's just a paper. If you don't like it, you can always create another version and change it for a next time, and that way you will, by making cards, you will be learning yourself. There's no better learning point than actually creating cards. No amount of the YouTube video watched. Of course, I would like you would be watching my videos, but what I'm saying is that if you want to grow up as a card maker, there is no better way for you to grow than just creating the card. You can watch the videos, but even if you watch a million videos, it's not gonna bring you as much experience as putting hands on there, like working, creating. You can of course watch the videos. Everyone's watching. I'm watching the videos, and I love watching YouTube tutorials as well. So that's a huge amount of the inspiration and learning, finding new techniques, but keep on crafting as well. You can watch the video, craft along, and create your own versions of the cards you're watching, and that'll be the best learning curve for you, my friend. So saying that, let's go back to this card. So for my reindeer, which we're supposed to, is that deer or a reindeer? I cannot decide. Let me know in a comment what you think. I think it's a deer. I don't know. Anyway, or maybe reindeer, actually. It's Christmassy. I don't know. It looks like a deer with the antlers. Antlers? Oh, never mind. We're just gonna leave it to a specialist. It's this lovely, I'm calling it reindeer or deer. I don't know. Anyway, this one's supposed to be on the cardstock itself, like on the design paper. I've put like a layer of the lighter one. I think it's just enhancing it a little bit more, Plus, I've used the sentiment like a side tag. So I really like the idea. This is something, it's so easy, but it's just extra special. Rather than having to place the sentiment traditional way, you can just tuck it on the side of your extra layer, like this focal point image, and that way you have that little something interesting add to your card. Now, for the layer which we're supposed to have this white mat underneath this deer, I've decided to emboss it, add some texture. However, I was a little bit lazy. I didn't want to waste the time for looking for the embossing folder, because I usually spend there like 5 minutes beside the shelf and thinking like, oh, which one to choose. If you need something quickly, just place your paper on the scoring board, score it every half an inch or quarter of an inch if you want your lines to be smaller, and that way you can just, you know, have this texture and interest instantly without using any specialty tools. You know, you don't have to reach for the embossing folder. And this is a great tip for those who doesn't have the die cutting machine. If you want to have something like fake embossing pattern without using the embossing folders, scoring board, you can create the trellis, you can create the line, vertical, horizontal, whatever you like. Okay, so now I add the glue to the layers of those this deer, and I've just stuck, I think it was 3 white, and then the top one from it was from the lighter design paper, because on that file, the Buy Me a Coffee file, which I was given to you on the live classes, I've put 2 versions. I usually, when I design my papers, I like to keep them both lighter and darker, because in my envision is that the lighter version is something great for using up as a insert portion of your card. It's still a slightly visible design, but you can write on it, you can add the wishes, or you have something extra layer. If you do your envelope, you can do darker on the back side and then lighter on the inside. So that was my card number 5, if I'm right, and this is gonna be the last card. The last one was kind of very quick as well. I just had a few minutes to finish it. So what I did, I've scored the A4 size card, and it's gonna be a larger. I had this idea in my head to actually create the present, since it's Christmas theme cards, and I just thought like instantly, oh, this is gonna be looking nice as a Christmas present. So what I did, I've cut the layer of the design paper, and I'm adding the thick I think it's like 2 inches ribbon. I have the whole I'll just quickly tell you that story. Some time ago, I don't know, 7 years or something, or even more, probably like 9 years or something, I've seen the video with making flowers from the ribbon. And I thought, oh, this is gonna be like holy grail for my card making. So I end up buying like couple rolls of those very thick ribbons, and I have them hardly used. So whenever I'm creating like a larger like gift bags or something, I'm trying to use them up. So this is great design for those of you who have that thick ribbon and you don't know what to do with them. Just use them as the packaging present on a card, and I'm so happy that I came up with this idea. I don't know, maybe someone did it earlier, I haven't seen it, but if someone did, then you know, it's just crafting, so maybe there's already out there. But I just thought of it once I was creating the card. So here I'm just using it as a wrapping of the present, and this is gonna be a front panel of the card, and I'm super happy because that's very quick and very easy to recreate. So you could end up having like 10 of those like cards. They're good for like mass producing, so that could be a top of your card, and then you can put like a little pockets for a gift card, and you're good to go for your Christmas card making. Let me know what you think, and if you watch up till this point, please don't forget to say hi, don't forget to share the video, interact with it anyway. That's a huge help for me, for my channel. I'm super thankful for your support. Down below as well, I'll leave you the link to the Buy Me a Coffee page if anyone would like to share a coffee with me. Thank you so much for your support, and of course check the extra back extra section, because I do have some free printables gifts for you as well. And here, last tip probably for today, I'm just gonna create the bow. And my best tip for making a bow from the chunky ribbons, like the thick one, rather than trying to, you know, tie it, what I do, I am just adding it in my hand, like I'm folding it 3 times, like into 3 pieces, like the bow, and then I am wrapping the florist wire. The florist wire, it's something you can buy on Amazon or any other places, and they're super flexible, so don't worry, you don't really need the strength to tie them, but it's just holding the ribbon, and you don't have the stress of trying to tie the thick bow. This is what I'm finding like hard. There's no problem like 1 inch, half an inch or something. I love to tie the bows, but for the thicker one, I'm always struggling to have them small. Like there's no problem for tie them to be larger, but if you want like a small bow like I'm needing here, it's better to use the florist wire. That'll be making your bow looking nice and neat. So those florist wires, you can buy them Amazon or eBay or something. I'll see if I find them on the Amazon. I'll give you the link down below. And also one last thing I just want to say, down below in the description area of my video or any other video I'm posting, there is a couple of the affiliate links. So my friends, if you are shopping either Craftstar, Scrapbooking, Kokorosa, any other shop, like and if you would like to support my channel, please make sure you enter the store via my link. So if you're planning to shop something, and that way if you enter through my link, you still pay the same, you use your discount code and everything, but I'm just getting a little commission after you place your order, like you pay for your shopping. So that is, share a little percentage with me. So this is also the way to support my channel if you would like. So and you're gonna be doing some shopping, then that'll be nice if you decide to go through my link. So that's it. That's all enough advertisement I'm saying, but obviously, and this is what I've been saying over and over again, make sure you use what you have. Don't overbuy. Make sure whatever you're buying is a well thought, something you're gonna be used, you're gonna be, you know, in your vibe. You know, if you cannot find 5 ideas of using the product, then I this is what I'm doing. I'm putting it on a waiting list, and then I'm just coming back and revisiting, like, you know, within a month or something, because sometimes we're just kind of spending money on the go, like, you know, we just get excited and then things arrive and just like, oh, what to do with it. So make sure you use up in the first place, or search your dice if you have something similar before you buy anything. So that'll be my cards. I just want to show you quickly a little close-up look on how they turn out. I hope you like them. Let me know which one is your favorite. I'm torn between this elegant one with the gold sentiment or the present one, and but I like them all. I think it's just this nice paper. I just like it, and let me know what you think. I'll be coming back with the next video shortly, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you're not gonna be missing it. I am thanking you all this, and I'll see you shortly. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye bye.